I'm in New York to ask a simple question. Does freedom of speech really exist in the USA?
Why are you asking those questions?
Uber policy, you can't talk about politics.
Absolutely.
And boy, did I find out.
We can work with China. Hey, he's talking to me.
The police will come and lock you up.
After checking out President Donald Trump's inauguration in Washington, D.C., I jumped on a train to the Big Apple, New York City. I'm on my way to Washington Square Park, right next to New York University, to try and answer a simple question. Is there really freedom of speech in the USA? I got chatting with my Uber driver, a Tibetan, but things changed when I asked him a fairly benign political question.
What do you think of Trump?
Trump?
Are you a Trump supporter or a Trump hater?
Actually, we
Nothing.
can't talk about like that in the Uber policy.
Uber policy, you can't talk about politics.
Absolutely.
Wow.
After I stopped filming, he told me that Uber sends him a warning message on every job, reminding him that his phone will record his conversations with passengers and that he's not allowed to talk politics. Very interesting. At Washington Square Park, some NYU students were protesting for their right to free speech.
I was yelled at and denied entry from my mosque this December, where I've prayed for years on the basis of my being a threat to my community. I was told that every security guard on campus has my name and picture with orders to seize my ID if I entered a building. I was never told if I could enter.
This is Hamza, a doctoral law student at the university, who's recently run into a lot of trouble for speaking his mind in the land of the free. Hamza was helping some fellow students with legal questions at a Free Palestine demonstration on campus last year. After that, things turned sour.
There's been suppression happening at universities all over the United States, but in particular NYU's. It's been particularly egregious. There's been a history of targeting of pro-Palestinian demonstrations with the rash of encampments that sprung up last spring. NYU was famously particularly brutal, invited NYPD on campus multiple times, conducted negotiations in bad faith, called the cops and had 18-year-olds arrested at 6 in the morning.
So after the sit-in, you came back to the university and what did you find?
All the students who were immediately identified as involved,
Including you?
Including me. And I made no attempt to hide my identity in this regard from the university. I had my access privileges revoked without notice, without formal charges made, without an explanation of the rationale.
So nobody told you that? You just came here and couldn't get in?
I had an exam the following day and wasn't intending on coming to campus that day, and very nearly missed the final exam as a result of that. Free speech is being practiced in direct protest of this, and what you see in response is widespread and brutal suppression, so that questions are not asked, and it's...
So does New York University stand for free speech in your opinion?
Certainly not. When it comes to pro-Palestinian demonstrations, I think that this has been materially advanced. What does it mean to be able to practice free speech when you're subject to arbitrary and capricious punishment? If you say certain things.
The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated.
The Bible is the good news of the eternal salvation of your soul.
America's so-called freedom of speech does extend to people who want to spout their beliefs across a megaphone and force everyone else to listen.
Islam cuts off heads. Islam butchers bodies in northern Nigeria. They chop bodies to pieces.
This man is a former soldier who invaded Vietnam. But don't worry, he assured me he didn't kill a single of the estimated 2 to 3 million Vietnamese murdered by the US during that war.
When we graduated college,
we were drafted into the Army. So a lot of the Americans went in. We had no idea who these Vietnamese people were.
Despite having taken part in a war that he now agrees should never have happened, he hasn't internalized much about US aggression overseas and would rather fearmonger about every other country.
Time is coming to a short end. Nuclear is now on the table, and one of the radical nations will take nuclear, and the Bible says if he had not returned, there'll be no flesh left on earth.
But there's only one country in the world that's used a nuclear weapon, and that's the US.
Now I'm heading to the Bronx, about 40 minutes away on the subway. 10 people were murdered on New York City subways last year alone, with some pushed in front of oncoming trains and another set on fire.
So, is the New York subway safer than before or more dangerous?
I think it's more dangerous. At that time, people used to be friendly. At that time, you could communicate with the other person without any bad reaction.
What changed?
What changed? The new generation changed. I come from the old generation when you have respect. It's not only that at that time you see a friendly person coming to the train, you used to get up.
Older
Now
person.
no more.
No respect.
No respect at all.
So the mayor said the crime is down. You believe him?
No.
This is an accessible station.
What's he going to do about it?
That's a good question. Come to the Bronx. People in the Bronx, they're scared. I'm one of them. I don't come out. Like this minute, I have to go to the supermarket.
So you don't feel safe?
I don't feel safe at all. The opposite. Once I see the cop, I tell them, I'm glad to see you.
For true.
You don't know.
This is the Bronx, the northernmost of New York City's 5 boroughs, where the rate of poverty is the highest at a staggering 27.6%. That's nearly triple the national average. I'm here to meet 26-year-old Jose Vega, who's running for Congress to represent the Bronx.
So, this is our office here.
Wow. Hello.
All right. Hi. Robert Castle.
Nice to meet you. I'm Andy.
Hi, nice to meet you, Andy.
And that's Lynn Speed, our campaign manager.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Yeah. And this is our wonderful office.
And you got your big Jose Vega for Congress sign.
That's right.
Nice. So Jose, you're running for which area? What is this map all about?
This is the 15th Congressional District of the Bronx. Everything that's highlighted in white here is the district, basically. It goes all the way down here, basically from Mott Haven, all the way up to Riverdale and Fieldston. You have the poorest congressional district, which most of the poverty is centered around here. Well,
Jose and his friends are well known for what they call interventions, confronting well-known political figures like Barack Obama, Joe Biden, and Hillary Clinton at public events.
Our economy is definitely very powerful right now. All that stock market money goes to the military complex so that more innocent women and children are dead. We can work with China every time they come. They offer a peaceful solution. Listen, don't start World War III. He's choking me. He's choking me. Holy shit. All of you are just straight warmongers. That's right. Look at what they do to free speech. There's an ethnic cleansing in Gaza, and all you do is tell lies about it. You and the rest of the media are warmongers. Every single one of you are all warmongers.
Despite being successful at infiltrating political events to make their voices heard, Jose and his friends are always forcefully removed, and their voices are stifled.
So that there is no legal basis for them to just be manhandling us like this.
Is that a freedom of speech problem?
Oh, absolutely. You know, they like to criticize other countries for cracking down on free speech and censorship, but look at what they're doing to me right there. Here in New York City, this bastion of free speech country, right? Well, you know, they're like dragging me out when I'm trying to say something and dragging me out in quite an aggressive manner. So clearly, they only care about free speech when it's something that supports their argument or what they're saying.
So some people overseas might be a bit surprised by that because a lot of people view the US as like a bastion of free speech.
Oh, absolutely, it's not true. I mean, you can quote unquote say whatever you want, like you can go to a corner, right? As long as it's not something that will actually impact policy. But, you know,
if you're going to make a real change, then it's not allowed.
Exactly.
Whether you like it or not, the US, like every country, restricts speech that crosses certain red lines. There's no such thing as absolute free speech in any country, anywhere in the world. Not even in America, the land of the free. Why then does the US government and media so often criticize other countries for having their own red lines, while painting the United States as some kind of free speech utopia? Is it time that they took a step back and had less to say about how other countries are run, especially given that the United States is far from the angel it pretends to be?